Building a website these days with Claude is easier than ever. But if your website looks like this, it won't do you any good. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use Claude Code to build a beautiful website by simply prompting it. In fact, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how to use the right design skills to create beautiful websites. I'm going to show you how to install them, how to prompt Claude in order to use them, and I'll even show you how many tokens Claude uses in the process of building a website that looks like this. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start with the basics. In order to build a website, you need Claude Code, not just Claude. And to be able to use Claude Code, you need a pro subscription at the very least. And by the way, you will not have to write a single line of code, so don't get scared. Just follow along the steps in this video. The subscription for Claude Code starts at $20 a month, but in my opinion, it's a complete no-brainer because the investment is 100% worth it. Once you have the subscription, you will see code in your app like this. And you should know that there are three main ways to use Claude Code. One is in a CLI, one is in the app, and the other is in an IDE, or an integrated development environment. I feel like this is the best option because the CLI is a little bit too complicated in my opinion, and the app oversimplifies things way too much. I always get questions from people asking me why I use the IDE, and I won't be going into them again. So if you want to know why this is the best of both worlds, just ask Claude. And now, if you've never used an IDE before, there's this one called Visual Studio Code, which is owned by Microsoft and is completely free. All you have to do is go to this website, select the option for your laptop, and click download. Once you have downloaded VS Code, it will look something like this. Yes, it looks daunting, but again, don't worry, it's super easy and all you're going to be doing is prompting. From here, what you want to do is start by creating a folder in your own laptop. This is a folder where your project is going to be saved. So you want to make sure it's a brand new folder that you open inside of your VS Code, simply like this. Then you want to click on this button on the left-hand side that says extensions. Here you're going to search for Claude Code or VS Code extension. It looks like this, and all you have to do is click install. Now, of course, I've already installed mine, but when you click install for the first time, it's going to show you this pop-up. What this does is asking you to add your Claude credentials so that it connects directly to your account. So you'll be using your tokens. Once all of this is done, you'll be able to see the Claude logo right here and here. You can click on it and open the Claude experience on the left-hand side, or you can also open it right here in the center of the screen. This is normally what I typically use. Once you open your folder inside of your VS Code, you will notice that all of the files that will be created later on will be right here. You don't have to worry about it because the Claude coding assistant will be the one building all of the files and managing them for you. Now it's finally time for us to start building our website with Claude. And initially, it will look something like this, but by the end of it, we will make it look much better. But let me take you through the whole process. The very first thing you need to do is to choose an idea. Now, I've already built a bunch of websites like Lead Landing that allows you to build and deploy your own landing pages without owning a domain and with forms embedded. I also created Talk to Me Data that lets you build, deploy, and host your own AI agents, and even Selling with Nas, my personal blog, among many others. But I wanted to build something completely new from scratch to show you the process of doing so. And after pondering and thinking about it for a while, I came to the conclusion that the reviews segment is kind of owned by Trustpilot, but they charge quite a lot of money for the starter tier. At the same time, Google Reviews is completely free, but that's not quite catered to tech businesses or startups that are being built with Claude Code. So I've decided to build a brand new website that lets startups and tech businesses have their own reviews embedded in their website for a fraction of the price. So I'm going to share with Claude my idea and get that website built. But the first very important thing you need to know is choosing your mode and your model very carefully. The model that I've chosen is Opus, which is one of the most advanced ones, apart from Fable. And sometimes, to be honest, you can start with Sonnet. It doesn't make a huge difference. It's just that I'm more used to Opus. You can also choose the effort level. I keep it at high, but you can go for moderate if you're building something a bit more simple. But then most importantly, you have to select mode. And here what you want to choose is plan mode. It's super important to select plan mode when you're starting out a project, because this will allow Claude to fully understand your vision and it will ask you questions to get clarification on what to build. If Claude doesn't fully understand what you're trying to build, it's just going to build a project. It's not going to be what you want. You're going to have to reprompt it again and again to ask for changes, and that burns through your tokens. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how many tokens I use throughout this whole process, because right now we're still at 0. So once you've selected plan mode and you're ready to go, just before you add your prompt, I want to introduce you to the very first design skill we will be using, and it's called taste. Taste is a very important design skill that you want to use at the start of your build. What this skill does is define the initial standards for design variance, motion intensity, and even visual intensity. And you'll rank them between 1 and 10. And based on how you describe your product, this skill will essentially define how the design will look and feel like from the get-go. The way you get this skill is simply by going to the skill page on GitHub, and you click on this button that says download raw file. Once that file is downloaded, you can add it to your project. And don't worry about finding the links to the right skills that I'll mention in this video. I will leave the link in the description of a free guide that you can get, where you can find all of these links and all of the step-by-step guides that I'm going to be covering in this video. So just go there, click on this button, and you'll find the taste skill right away. Once you download the skill, all you have to do is drag it and drop it into your project. You will see that the skill is actually a huge .md format that has specific instructions to Claude on how we should use its design principles. And there's a specific way you should structure your skills inside of your Claude project, but I'm just going to tell Claude to do it on my behalf, to be honest. And this is how you do it. I'm going to add the prompt to Claude. I'm already in plan mode. And one of the things that I'm going to say is I also added one skill to the folder of the project. Please organize it so that it's under the skills file. And I'm saying when you build a homepage, please use the skill called taste, which is the brand new skill that I just added. And overall, the prompt just says, I want to build a rival to Trustpilot for startups that's much cheaper and much more reliable. So Claude's going to go away and it's going to start thinking. And you can see right here that it started using tokens. So I'm already at 2%. But eventually, what Claude is going to do is start asking me questions. And this is the crucial part. You need to make sure that you give the right instructions to Claude, specifically when it's asking questions back and forth. So here, what was the product going to be called? I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna select Proofly. Why not? And then, what is the single sharpest reason for a startup to pick you over Trustpilot? I'm gonna select all of the options. And similarly, I'm just gonna keep going and reply to the other questions as well. And he'll keep going and it's going to ask me more questions later on regarding sections, images, theme, pricing, and so on. The whole process of going back and forth with Claude on questions and answers can take 10, 15, 20 minutes. And it can consume a few tokens as well. But once it's done, you're going to have a plan that looks like this. And you have an option to accept it, reject it, or provide further recommendations. And I can see right here that Claude has a really good idea of what it wants to build, and it's also logged a bunch of decisions that will help with the build. You can also see that you use 7% of my tokens for the session and only 1% for my full week, which is quite good. You can also see right here that it defined values for design variance, motion intensity, and even visual density, which is something that comes with the taste skill. So for me, this whole plan looks quite good. I'm just going to accept it and see what Claude starts building. Now, this is going to consume a whole bunch of tokens, and it's going to take a little bit of time. And you'll see that Claude creates a bit of a to-do list, and it goes step by step through each one of them, completing its tasks. And once it's ready, you'll be able to review it. Here on the left-hand side, you can see there's a whole bunch of files that have been created. This was empty before, and it got me to 32% of my tokens. So the initial build out took 32%, and that includes both plan mode and creating V1 of the product. Now, something you'll want to do is, you can see right here that Claude says that to launch this, you need to run npm dev run, which is a way of launching a local server inside of your laptop. So nobody else can see this, only you. And what you want to do is go up here and click on New Terminal. This is going to open a terminal inside of your IDE. And all you're going to do is type what Claude said, npm run dev. And this is going to open a local host. Again, local server inside of your laptop. Nobody else can access this link. You're going to copy it. You're going to go to your browser and you're going to paste it. And just like this, you have the first version of your website. I'm going to review it quickly. Okay, so he added some reviews here, social proof without the sales call. Okay, so he identified correctly what I wanted my website to be about. It's not too bad, but in my opinion, it's still quite ugly. And you're wondering, you use the design skill, you use Claude Code, and it's still looking quite ugly? Well, it is a whole process. We only use 32% of our tokens within the first session, and there's still a few steps we need to go through in order to make this website look like this. So what is the second skill we want to use? Well, the second skill is called Frontend Design Skill. And similarly to the previous one, you can simply go to my guide, which is in the description of this video, and you can click on this link and you'll be on the page of the skill. Here, click on this button that says download raw file. You download the file, and you take it and you add it to your Claude Code project. Now, I've reviewed this website in my own time, and I put together a prompt with several bullet points identifying the initial things I want changed. And I also told Claude, I want you to use the front-end design skill. So now Claude is using another design skill in order to improve the website in a direction that I want. And I will use this skill both in this step and the next one is where the biggest difference will actually happen, as you will see. But let me quickly show you what this will do. Claude will take my prompt and he'll start working away and creating a new version of the website. After it's done, it's going to give me an update. You can see here on the left-hand side that he added the front-end design skill to the same folder where the taste skill is. So it's a .claude folder. Inside there's the skills folder. And then inside of that folder, there's both the taste and the front-end design skills. Any other skills that you add in the future should be added here. But let me actually open up the website. And by the way, to do this change, you can see we are now at 47% of the tokens. So we went from 32 to 47, 15% in this iteration. I now go to the website and I can see that it's starting to look different. Okay, this looks quite similar. I still don't like this how it works section. I will show you how I changed that to look like this. I don't like this at all, this comparison of price. Okay, they moved the reviews to right here. Okay, I also don't like this. This section is okay. There's still quite a lot of work to do. Now, as I mentioned, we are using the front-end design skill to do something quite spectacular. And that is to extract the theme from a website design that we like and apply it to our own. The initial version that we have is a good starting point, but it's nowhere near where I want to be. So this is what I recommend you to do. You're going to go to this website called Siteinspire, which you can also find in my guide, link in the description. Once you're here, what you want to do is start browsing through and identify a theme that you actually like. In my case, I found this one. It looks quite good. I'm going to open it. And as I go through it, I kind of like the look and feel. I like the font. I like the colors. Why not? Why don't we go for something along these lines? So I'm going to copy the URL and I'm going to go back to Claude and I added it in my prompt. I want you to use the front-end design skill to completely redesign my website to look like this. And then I add a few more instructions on things that I want to change. I'm going to submit that. And Claude is going to start working on the new design of my website while maintaining the integrity and the structure of it. And once he works on it, you will see that the tokens used are now at 69. So we're climbing through those tokens pretty quickly. But that was another 20 minutes of work or so. And you can see that Claude went through the to-do list. Now, if I reopen the website, let's see what it looks like. And it looks like this. Now, this is a huge step change between what it used to look like before and what it looks like now. The hero section looks beautiful in my opinion. I like the new fonts. It makes it feel a lot less AI sloppy. And as I scroll down, I still have this section that I absolutely despise, but don't worry, I'm going to change that shortly. And this looks a little bit better. Still don't love it, but looks better. This section also looks a bit better. I can see it's reactive, it works. I like this section. The pricing needs to be updated, but overall, the website feels a lot different. And it already starts feeling like a website that I could potentially launch. And by the way, if you want to learn about how to integrate a database so you can get users signing in, if you want to learn how to integrate a paywall so people can pay, and how to go from beginning all the way to creating a full website, I'm going to be running a live session every month. So go to the link in my description where you can sign up and it's completely free. I hope to see you there. The fourth step into creating a brand new website that looks amazing is going to be a complete cheat code for you, because it's going to allow you to take a section that looks like this into one that looks like this. And this is just one of the many components that we can use. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Again, in my guide, which is in the description, you can access this website that has a whole lot of components that you can steal. And it's called 21st Dev. Here you can search for whatever you want and then just copy it and add it to your Claude Code. So I'm going to say how it works because I want to change my how it works section. And I'm going to find it right here. I like this one. I mean, there's so many other options as you can see, but I like this one right here. And I'm going to click here on where it says copy prompts. You can copy 2 prompts a day for free. Then I'm going to go back to my Claude and I'm going to say, I want to change the how it works section to match the below design. And I'm just going to paste it. And you don't have to say anything else. Claude, by having the skills that it already has, will simply use that structure and apply it to be compliant with the design structure that we already have. So it will start working on it for a bit. And once an output is ready, let me quickly show you the tokens. We are at 87%. So yeah, we've used quite a bit of tokens from this session and we've been on it for 2 hours. But the most important part is, what is the website actually looking like? So let me show you right here. So we still have the hero section, which looks stunning in my opinion. And if you scroll down, you can see that how it works has finally been updated to something that looks much, much better. And it's interactive as well. If I hover over it, you will see that the elements kind of expand a little. So that's good. And I'm getting progressively happier with how the website is looking like. Now, I'm actually going to launch this. I will leave the link in the description if you want to try it out, because I'm going to make a full build. I'm going to add the login functionality and the actual product itself. And you can find it in the link in the description. I don't know which domain I will use just yet. It'll probably be a stupid domain, but hey, I think it's probably going to be a pretty good product. But let me quickly show you what the website is looking like as of right now. So I made a number of changes, removed the banner that I had with random logos, and I added the logos of Claude Codex and Cursor, because this is an ideal solution for people who build websites using this kind of tech. I then added here a grid on the type of reviews people can get embedded onto their websites, and then made a bunch of other changes that I think make the website feel a lot more genuine and a lot less vibe coded. If you want to learn how to take this from your project on your laptop to connecting to a domain, adding a database so people can sign up, and even adding a paywall, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I will be making a video showing you exactly how I do it for this website. Also, if you want to learn directly from me, I'm going to be running a live session. You want to make sure you sign up for that, and I hope to see you there very, very soon. Here, I'm going to cover exactly how you can go from zero all the way to building your first website that looks stunning. And you'll also have the opportunity to ask me any questions you have about your own project. So just go to the link in my description, sign up, and I hope to see you there. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.